This is a Star News Brief. I'm African Njogu. Deputy President William Ruto on Wednesday took the BBI battle to the doorstep of President Uhuru Kenyatta and ODM leader Raila Odinga. After meeting with more than 150 of his political allies, including MPs and governors, Ruto said that the country should not hold the proposed referendum. Ruto cited the contents of the bill, which he said needed more consensus building, while also raising issues with the timing as well as the process. The DP and his allies said that Kenyans should have the right to vote yes or no to specific issues. They also say that the country should currently dedicate its resources and energy to handling the COVID-19 pandemic.
We have, as a team here, agreed that we will support the proposal by CIOC in Parliament to provide a mechanism in the referendum where Kenyans can vote on issues, not just a yes-no referendum.
Get a copy of the Star by subscribing to our e-paper for only 10 shillings by dialing *550*3#. Senators were on Wednesday seeking to unravel a puzzle of a one-man-owned, one-month-old company that was awarded a 1 billion shillings tender for the supply of COVID-19 items to KEMSA. Shop and Buy, a firm registered on the 14th of February, was awarded a multi-million tender a day after its sole owner James Chelili walked to KEMSA premises and sought to supply the agency. In shocking revelations, Chelili told the Senate Health Committee that he had not done any business with KEMSA before and only learned that the agency needed the items through other companies Shop and Buy has been supplying. He said that after the learning from the companies that KEMSA was in need of emergency COVID-19 items, he wrote a letter of intent on April 29th and was issued with a commitment letter the following day. Without price negotiations or signing of any contract, Chelili supplied the items, masks and personal protective equipment worth 970 million shillings. Tourism stakeholders in the North Coast region have called on the government to come up with incentives of supporting them to cushion them against the COVID-19 pandemic. They said business has really been affected and they are unable to make ends meet due to the lack of international tourists who used to boost the economy. Currently, the stakeholders, among them curio operators and beach operators, claimed the domestic tourists do not want to interact with locals on the beach due to the pandemic. Traders say that since Malindi was declared a hotspot for the COVID-19 pandemic, it has been difficult for them to do business.
Wamesema kuna utalii wa kinyumbani, tunakubali watu wanatoka Nairobi. Amini usiamini, saizi mtu anayetoka Nairobi tangu juzi waseme Malindi, corona imeenda juu. Ukimfuata kwenda kumwambia habari hata kama umeweka social distance, anakukimbia.
The National Treasury has hinted at a looming restructuring of state agencies that will see a number of them dissolved in a move to cut wastage on taxpayers' money. Cabinet Secretary Ukur Yatani has said the government is keen to fold agencies that have remained on the bailout list of the Exchequer year on year, with those with duplicating roles being merged to reduce wastage of resources. There will also be a major restructuring in agencies that have serious governance issues. Some of the ministries with a high number of state agencies include agriculture, transport, tourism, energy, industrialization, trade and enterprise development, sports, culture and heritage, which could face a major rationalization. According to the latest Consolidated National Government Investment Report for financial year 2019-2020, 127 state agencies out of 247 reported losses. Kenya accounted for 3% of malaria deaths and 1% of malaria cases globally in 2019, the latest report shows, with the global number of cases and deaths standing at 229 million and 409,000 respectively in 2019. This means the country recorded 2.2 million clinical cases and 12,270 deaths as a result of malaria. The report warns that the country faces possible rapid diagnostic test stockouts early next year should the country orders fail to be delivered. It is estimated that more than 360 million people in the 11 countries with high transmission in East and Southern Africa are at a high risk of malaria. Former Auditor General Edward Ouko painfully narrated how President Uhuru's Jubilee administration continues with what appears a targeted approach of punishing him years after leaving office. In an emotional submission before the National Assembly's Constitution Implementation Oversight Committee, Ouko said he is an unhappy man in his post-service, describing his 8-year tenure as a thankless service to the nation. Ouko told MPs that he fears for his life as his security was withdrawn immediately he left the Anniversary Tower's office. leaving him at the mercy of evil individuals who he might have stepped on their toes. Described as daring, bold and fearless, AG Ouko assumed office on August 27, 2011 and left after serving a full term on August 2019. Get a copy of The Star by subscribing to our e-paper for only 10 shillings by dialing *550*3#. You can also get more on the Star website.